There are many ways to make a virtual universe seem like a living, breathing place, from exotic locales to recognizable places, from props that add personality to a room, from weathered spaceships that imply a life and history before your arrival, and with characters you can identify with and instinctively understand their role and place within the galaxy at hand. To get things started for us this week, we asked Jeremiah to take us through some of the recently approved NPC concepts that are about to begin their journey through production.
The character concept team finished an exciting batch of, belly roll, drum roll, vendors and shopkeepers for Star Citizen. If you've noticed very recently, and actually for the past couple of years, our shop vendors and also our shopkeepers are wearing generic clothing, just t-shirt and pants. And we thought to bring some more life into the universe. And so we have our bartenders. So it's not just the tux anymore. I've actually gotten some requests from some people who want a specific bartender outfit. So we took that into consideration, make it more, how do you say, not just a suit and tie, but a little bit more flair to it. And also for the servers, we put the aprons on there as well. We also did some restaurant stuff, so chefs and waiters and hostesses. That was actually a big challenge because we were thinking of how can we make chefs look sci-fi when the current day chefs look they're very simple. And so we had to go through a lot of design passes, and we thought this looked really cool where it maintains the look of a chef but still looks sci-fi and cool. Let's talk about the talk of the town, which is bounty hunters. People are asking, like, where are the bounty hunters? And so you get to kind of get a sneak peek of what the bounty hunters look like. The hardest part for the bounty hunters was so that we don't get into shipjacker territory, which is actually kit bashy stuff. And so how can we make it customized but not Mad Maxy? And so this is kind of what we came up with. So we also worked on the clothing. Some cold weather clothing for Microtech, which is actually, I think, our first batch of clothing from Code Blue Apparel. And they are going to be not your just jacket and pants, but thick clothing. So you can actually, when you're trudging through the snow, you'll be protected. And also you look pretty cool. The biggest thing for the concept team really was, we're 900 years in the future where there's different cultures that are mixed in together. So we thought to actually incorporate more different cultures from different races and different possibly religions and stuff like that, and put it all into like a melting pot. And Chris was actually really excited to see those. So that was a quick update of what the character concept team has been working on. It's going to be in production very soon, and hopefully in your hands. And one day you'll be able to see NPCs, workers, AI, possible players wearing these outfits, and that our universe will be that much fleshed out. So I can't wait for it to have it in your hands.
So, can we do a sprint report this week?
I am not involved in any of this.
Let's do a sprint report. The Persistent Universe gameplay team in Europe is continuing their work on harvestables, which is a fancy name for, hey, I want to pick that thing up and put it in my bag. What you're seeing here are work-in-progress assets for a small collection of harvestable plants that may one day populate the surface of a planet like Hurston. While these plants and the harvestable system are still very much work in progress, when combined with the upcoming personal inventory system, they'll set the table, allowing for future additions to the actor status system, incorporating things like hunger, thirst, etc. It's another example of how smaller systems can build to a larger, interconnected feature down the line. In bartender news, the props team have completed a sprint on bartender usables, which aim to give these NPCs a greater variety in the types of drinks they can mix up. It's a seemingly small thing, but these are the details that collectively build up to a more immersive and believable experience in the Star Citizen universe. Just watch out for that Cathcart Widow 151. In the world of weaponry, here's a look at the new ship-mounted laser cannons from Croning, which promises to be a high-damage, long-range weapon with the bare-bones, no-frills nature that manufacturer is known for. Heavy, reliable, threatening. That's Croning. #sponsored. Finally, in this week's Sprint Report, here's a look at progress on the ever-elusive Banu Defender. This two-person craft from humanity's first interstellar friends has required an extensive effort to create and define the look and feel of Banu culture and technology, because it will not only be the first glimpse at this civilization in the Star Citizen universe, but will set the stage for development of the ever-popular Banu merchantmen in the future. We'll check in with additional looks at the Banu Defender ahead of its intended release in Alpha 3.7 throughout the quarter. With 68 rooms, a massive footprint, and apparently a cargo bay big enough to carry a ballista, the 890 Jump is one of the most hotly anticipated ships in recent memory. Now, while it's currently continuing its journey through the ship pipeline, we thought we'd ask Pete if he wouldn't give us a Royale Tour Part 2 of its less flashy, but nevertheless important lower decks. Let's take a look.
We're working on the 890. We're holding regular reviews at the moment to try and catch out all the last little things and close this ship out and get it ready for you guys. So I'll give you a little update of some of the stuff that we've been working on lately. So here we have the cargo room situated at the back in the lower decks. Quite a bit of space for the cargo, and we'll just clear that out of the way. So got the little windows there, see it going down. Big open space. We've got the components in here, so at the back we've got the jump drive, and then over at this end we've housed all the other main components. Down here, got the engine rooms, twin engines either side. Quickly go up these stairs. I'm going to quickly just go through the rest of this deck, walk you through to the hangar. Most of this deck's reserved for the crew who work and serve the guests on this ship. So here we've got the galley. You'll have to excuse the fire going on. We're in the middle of doing a VFX pass. So as we go through here, the crew, as well as having the seating area, they've got their own little recreation room. So they got a pool table, the arcade machine and drinks fridge. And then outside of there, because on the other side of this door, we've got the hangar. And it could be that we've got the hangar doors open and it's vented. So we've got a suit per member of crew so they can suit up before they go through. So you suit up, and then of course we need an airlock so we don't vent the ship. We won't have it so both doors open at the same time. That needs setting up yet. But we go through. It's a big ship with a big hangar, and it's designed in such a way that the whole floor will rise up on these pillars that you see here, and they'll take you up flush with the exterior, which, if you know the shape, it's a big flat wedge, and you'll be flush up there, and it'll make landing and taking off a lot easier rather than trying to bring it in this place. Other things in here to note, we've taken a basketball court and put that in there because you've got the excuse of a big open place. You'd use it for things, wouldn't you? I mean, it's a little nod to Prometheus there. And then the other things we've got in here, we've got grab plates so we can squeeze a bit more cargo up front end. So symmetrical on both sides, but essentially between all these pillars we've got room for a bit more. And then at the far end, we've got access up to the man turret that is mounted on the top side. And then behind this door, we've got access to the man turret that's mounted on the belly of the ship. Okay, so if we move on this deck, it forms a circuit, twin airlock, just like on the other side. And then here is the waiting room, so you can imagine your rich guests. They'll come and sit in here while they're waiting for their 85X or whatever to come and pick them up. And then this is like a corridor that the guests would use for getting to their part of the ship. So I'll just quickly walk along here. And then they'd go up in this lift, but then the only way between these crew decks with a cargo and the hangar is two elevators, one either side. The other one was in the kitchen, if you spotted it. And then in the event if power's down, we always need to make sure there's a way of getting around the ship. So we've got a ladder here. I'll just jump onto this. Just need to sync up that animation with the bars a little better, but that's just an easy edit. And you can take that to connect the guest part of the ship from the lower ship. If I just quickly jump out of game mode, I can show you how the lighting might look in that scenario. So I just select this guy, hide it, put so obviously for ships we do different lighting states. We've got auxiliary and we've got the emergency as well as the normal. If the power's down, you might be under attack and the ship might be in a bad state. That might be one scenario where the lifts aren't working and you need to take the ladders to get around. I've only just switched it on here for this one bit to show you. Okay, so that brings us up to the main guest section of the ship, through the atrium, and then Behind this door, this is the spare deck. So quickly drop into game so we can just have a walk around here, show you what different elements we've got on this deck. So as you go in to the right, got bench and lockers. Again, props have been doing some cool assets for us to put in the, highlighting the bench here, obviously, so you can sit down on it. We've got 2 saunas and 2 showers. Over this side, we've got the jacuzzi. So you may have seen shots of this from a while back, and it was a big rocky cave. Some people called it a grotto. It didn't really feel in keeping with the ship, so it's had a rework, and as it stands now, we've got this central jacuzzi, we've got a water wall at the back that we've lit, and it also acts as like a screen in one fashion where you can go behind and maybe get changed for going in. In here you can probably see rocks and plant life. Then we've got a glass bottom, and then we've got a fish tank. No fish at the moment, but if we get a fish tank, we'll get some fish swimming around in there. You can actually go in there, interact with the seats and sit down. Okay, so that's some of the rooms that we've been working on lately. There's 68 rooms in total that we'd like to leave for you guys to go and explore, but I hope you've enjoyed what I've shown you here today.
So what did we learn this week? We learned there's no end to the varied NPC concepts in the persistent universe, that Harvestables is another step closer to making avocado toast in space.
No!
The new Defender is looking appropriately alien on the inside, and the 890 jump is becoming more than just a ship, it's a lifestyle. And to our subscribers, keep an eye out for changes to the Flare, the Ship of the Month promotion, and more that start next week, the details of which can be found in the den on Spectrum. And to those attending or interested in attending CitizenCon this year, we have a short video about this year's community booths to share with you. Now, they're not just for orgs anymore, and they'll get you a free admission to CitizenCon if you missed out on one of the tickets. So check this out.
It's for you, you're Ultima, right?
I'm Ultima.
All right, energy and elements.
This is great. I love this.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch the prices.
Yeah.
You guys gonna get dressed up, or you?
I've got my outfit, yeah. What do you think?
I like it. So look, this is awesome.
And finally, to the star citizens out there that make all this possible, we'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching. For the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42, you can subscribe to our channel, or you can check out some of the other shows, and you can also head to our website at www.robertsspaceindustries.com. Thank you very much for watching.